the Brisbane Lions. They might have players out, but they've still got Charlie, who put it to grass, chase, spears it, gallop. Others, little handoff was delightful. Well, he'll probably kick it from here, given he's missed from directly in front, and Zach goes whack.
Especially in their hard luck stories as well, Moon, which McCarthy and you think Coleman probably both are.
And McKenna, speaking of them, on cue. Connor McKenna. And they might be made to pay here. Charlie! Cue John Denver. A few out there that are on the rookie list. Bruce Reville, Shadow Brain. So he's a bit on the salary cap, and that is as good as it gets from the pocket. And he's outstanding. Well, poke pass didn't quite work for Bailey. Well, it did work. Lyman, pocket, Charlie, couple of dance steps. Gee, got around Bowley Ulam with ease there. That was entertaining.
It is the Brisbane Lions Fancast. We are back and we have got footy to talk about. 2 practice games under the belt, and opening round is just a couple of days away against the Dogs at the Gabba Saturday night. Before we get into it all, Patrick, bit of housekeeping and a big thanks to our sponsors for 2026. Hop on Brewery Tours, Crisp Marketing, that are giving you your free Brisbane Lions Fancast stickers. Check out the website for those. EB by Hiker, your home for away games in Wollongabba. And our new one, Local Card Shop, also based in Wollongabba. Rob and the team there, absolutely fantastic stuff. If you're into sports card and memorabilias, or even if you're into Pokemon cards or Magic the Gathering, One Piece, all that sort of stuff, they've got it there. And Rob is a huge Lions fan, has decided to jump on for 2026 as well. And they're going to be, I've saved this for the show, there is going to be a new game. So the wheel's gone. There's a new game that I'm going to bring to you next week. You're going to hate it. But that's going to be thanks to Local Card Shop as well. So make sure you check out all those guys and our website, which does have a bit of a facelift, brisbanelionsfancast.com.au. And make sure you check us out on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all that sort of stuff. You can also shoot us some money through our tip jar there. Shout us a coffee if you like what we do. All the links are there. All right, housekeeping done. We are back, Patrick. We've got footy to talk about. We've got a documentary to talk about. There's some more on the way. We've got a game against the Dogs that is actually going to be worth premiership points as well, mate. How did you find the 2 weeks of unofficial and official practice matches?
Well, let's say I only watched the one. What's going on there?
That's just quietly. If you book yourself a half or a full day tour with Hop on Brewery Tours, you get yourself a free Scooey glass as well.
I thought you were doing like a Rod Stewart when he was doing the Scottish Cup and was absolutely blind drunk on national television. But no. Yes, I've lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? Practice games.
Practice games.
Yes. I didn't watch the Carlton one because I didn't have KO at the time, and I was currently in a KO lockout.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't go well because I ended up having to then get KO to watch the other game. So they've grabbed us by the balls and will continue stealing our money for a mediocre product, but it is what it is. So I can only talk about the Lions and the Suns. I'm glad everyone kind of largely got through the Carlton game unscathed, save for a couple of concussiones, but they seemed relatively minor in the scheme of things. And yeah, it was good to just sort of have some football going on.
Yeah,
I think the expectations for the Lions and Suns game were relatively low, and suffice it to say, I think that they exceeded expectations by playing pretty damn well. And a lot of chatter on the comms about they're showing everyone what their depth is, and it's like, did you not watch the last 2 seasons?
I think. People tend to forget, myself included, the last 2 seasons, the amount of injuries that just accrued and still managing to pull off a couple of flags. But I think for what we put out there last week, Thursday night at Brighton Homes Arena against the Suns, versus what they put out there, they were only missing a couple of their best team, like Charlie Ballard and Matt Rowell obviously missing, but, you know, maybe 1 or 2 others. But we were missing like noticeable. Like, we had no recognised first string ruckman. Key defenders absolutely shot. You know, Zorko gone, Rayner with his sore groins. Like, we're missing best part of 10 players from a premiership team that could have played. And the way we worked ourselves through that game was amazing, I thought.
It showed a lot because the two main areas that we kind of have been okay in is Harris and the ruck, you know, and those were the two that we were without. And, you know, it felt pretty bad for Cody Curtin and Zane Zakostelski. Just like, hey guys, jump on in. You got Jared Witts, who's, you know, I think we talk about him a lot. He's super underrated. He's a top 5 ruckman in the comp. Getting a bit old now, but he's still experienced.
It will be interesting to see. Yeah, we do rate him. It'll be interesting to see how these new ruck rules do affect a ruckman like Witts and like Kieran Briggs and those big sort of bulky wrestling ruckmen. And those are the guys I think are going to suffer. So, not that I thought it was really obvious on Thursday night for Witsy, but maybe in a season proper against, you know, proper ruckman. And as I said to you off air just before, Tim English looked really, really good.
I suppose Lloyd Meek would be one of those rough and tumble type ruckmen that you speak of as well. So could be a styles matchup there. We'll come to Tim English possibly later on and how I feel about him. Not great, if you were wondering. Surprise, surprise. So, but yeah, it was quite funny to see too. I mean, Cody Curtin might have I know I'm not one to talk, given certain hair-related things that have happened on this podcast. But has no one told him maybe his haircut is possibly the worst in existence?
It's not. It's certainly not my cup of tea.
How did it get through that many things?
Well, I mean, it's fairly similar to how Kai Lohmann's was. And, yeah. I mean, I'll be the first to say I don't particularly understand, you know, Gen Z fashion and haircut choices these days.
You've gone through the list of Gen Z things you don't understand, so you're now up to everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, add that to the list.
This has been going for over a year. Your war against the Gen Zers.
It's not that I have anything against them. It's just like I'm out of touch, and that's fine. It happens to everyone.
I think we can categorically say it's the children who are wrong, not us.
Absolutely. Look, yes, Cody Curtin's haircut, not for me, but in the 2 pracky matches and also the intra-clubs, he's had a pretty good showing and, you know, has done nothing wrong to put his hand up for opening round selection. And there is a spot available with Sam Draper being unavailable as well.
I don't know what it is with our sort of young, tall people in pre-seasons just being like, hi, we're here, and you know how key forwards take 5 years to develop? No.
Yep.
We're going to be a Logan Morris or a Ty Gallup or now a Cody Curtin. So, good for them. And they grew into the game once Witts went off and they were rucking against Moyle or whoever it was. Like they were good, and they were also knackered. So good for them. The chase down by Cody Curtin at the end of the game was awesome, and you know, there was a lot of different things going on. There seemed to be early on. It seemed like, funnily enough, like Lincoln McCarthy and Kadeem Coleman seemed to not be quite following the way we have played. Like, you know, as if it's like, we're back playing. Like, let's just do it. But they kind of both grew into the game. Link kicked some good goals. And Coleman, I think when he got moved to the back line, looked a bit more, biting off that corridor kick and that sort of thing. And Link is just a super solid player, but there was a lot of long down the line by him, which I think some people will be clutching their pearls at, but I don't think that will be long for this world. So his kicks a bit loopy, sort of they hang in there just that little bit too long for, I mean, what we're used to seeing from the Lions for the last couple of years, that, you know, quick sort of direct ball movement to get it going as quick as possible. So when Link does loop a ball up and it does hang for that extra second or two, I don't know, it looks out of place. He's such a talented and gifted footballer, and, you know, will find himself in the right spots, and he's got good skills. But yeah, there was something about it. And look, he's been missing for 2 years, so I'm not going to hang shit on him. No, but it is something that we've seen players have to improve at. You know, Neil's had to get better. Berry's had to get better. It's something that Levi Ashcroft is going to have to get better at too, because he also, I call him a Squizzy Taylor. Like, they just slightly hang him up. And one of the things with our ball movement is we punch the ball so quick by foot that, you know, you're not just going, well, I got to kick the ball there. You got to kick the ball there quicker than everybody else. But, you know, I don't think we have anything to worry about. And we're just a good team that are doing the things correctly, and probably there's an element of sort of self-sustainability to it. And it was good to see some of the fringe players play. I thought, who stood out for you?
Across the two games, and I'm going to sort of lump them a little bit both. Zach Bailey was clearly, across both games, best for mine. Lachie Neale was really good, but that's, you know, neither here nor there. I thought Annabelle was fine without necessarily setting the world on fire. I was really impressed with Bruce. Charlie Cameron, but he is a pre-season sort of wizard, so whether that translates into the season proper. Lohman, Morris, Levi Ashcroft, those guys all really good. Gallup has taken seemingly another step. But yeah, probably Cody Curtin and Zane Zakostelski, that game he played on Thursday, one out of the absolute box. Like, absolutely crazy. We'll get to the questions later, thanks to Chris Marketing, and there was a question about ZZ. He was so impressive on Thursday night.
It was really, it was strange to see, but he disposed of the ball well. Like, he got moved around the field as well. He was playing, you know, defense, playing in the ruck, which is always good to see. I thought Bruce Reville was really good, taking some kickouts. There was one where he just bulleted it to Coleman, who then, it reminded me of a goal the Lions kicked against Geelong, I want to say in about 2021, where it was Zorko to link McCarthy, or Rich to Zorko to link McCarthy, a goal, and it was all just like left foot, right foot. It was fantastic. I should remember what they are before I bring them up, but it was very much like that, and I liked that. And if anyone else can remember that, then good for you. It was at the Gabba when we won by 46 points. 44 points. And Hodgie gave away a free kick that it would have been 50. Nice, easy, would have hit the 100, would have doubled them. Let's not talk about it. So it must have been 2019.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds right. Very good to see him back, and obviously has not changed one bit, putting his body on the line after a shoulder reco. That mark he took on the sort of wing to half forward area where he got crunched by Walter and some other bloke. That just tells you everything you need to know about Jared Berry, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and I think it's just the element of him. He's in the leadership group now. Fags said we've got to talk about that as well. He would be the de facto vice captain if they needed them, but they don't need them. So, you know, leading by example and good to see. So, happy with that.
It is funny that we recorded the last episode on that Monday morning, and we said, well, by the time you hear this, we might have our captains. And it basically came out at the same time, and yep. It's old news now, but we've obviously gone with the three captains, and in turn, Josh Dunkley has signed a contract extension as well, which is obviously fantastic stuff. Now that we've got... I'm not too worried about three captains. I think initially I thought, that's probably taking the piss a little bit, but I mean, at the end of the day, whatever. Like, who really cares?
Yeah, well, I mean... when I said they could go with three, and you're like, really?
It just seems a lot.
It does, but I suppose it's functionally Harris is the captain, and the other two are also captains. So they could have been told that they were vice captains, and I don't think anything internally would have changed, other than the fact that maybe it's like, hey, Brisbane Lions, we need your captain to do this thing, and it's like, okay, well, we'll send this guy rather than this guy because he needs to be in a hyperbaric chamber. So I think there's probably an element of that. It could be also a way to get more possible sponsorship related things or media related things to possibly garnish. No?
I mean, I don't think that there's necessarily going to be at the forefront of, Danny Daly and Chris Fagan's mind, like...
I'll ask you this. Do you imagine Lachie Neale will be on AFL 360 this year?
No, that's already been publicised. He's pulled out.
Absolutely. So we're going to have someone on there, and it'll probably be Josh Dunkley. So no.
I mean, at this stage, we haven't Neil's been replaced by Dacos. I think AFL 360 last week or Fox Footy released their here's our players for this year, and didn't look like we had anyone. That's not to say Fags will be on there from time to time, especially now that Robbo's gone, and there will be players from time to time, but I don't think there's going to be that sort of regular guy there.
Well, I stand bloody corrected, don't I? So you just way to shoot down the tinfoil hat came out and you immediately just lit it on fire. So,
but that the leadership group, of course, is plentiful. Again, Will Ashcroft makes his way into that group. Jazzy Fletcher, as we sort of probably all forecast, and it's good. I'm really, really happy that Jasper Fletcher is getting recognition from the sort of wider AFL community and media pundits as well.
Yes, that is correct. And right you are for feeling that way.
Other than that, take what you want from the practice matches. If you're a Carlton fan, you're probably up and about because you're a couple of wins there. Sydney's obviously looking really good.
I have news for you. They're going to get absolutely belted on Thursday night. And Kerno will kick 5+ goals.
Crazy considering Sydney played a few games in the practice series. We played them. What did you make of the Gold Coast Kits?
The Gold Coast... Oh, yeah, right.
The Gold Coast Swans.
It was easier to tell the teams apart than the pink one in the elimination final. That's all I'll say.
Fair enough. All right. Well, any other standouts for you across the practice matches?
Not really, because I mean, Bailey was good. Logan Morris was good. Darcy Gardner was good. And you just I think I said the same thing last year. You're not looking for this guy was amazing. You're looking for little moments or little bits and pieces from players, and I think we got that in all sort of facets. Fletcher was playing a little bit ahead of where he was last year, so more on the wing, back to where he was the year before. Will that enable him to impact in the same way as last year? Not sure, but we'll just have to sort of wait and see, because they've got plans. They're meticulously coached. I don't care what anyone with the initials D King. No, that's too obvious. David K. I don't care what he says, but Fagan's a technician and he'll have plans for them all. So, and it's not uncommon to see guys shifted all around the field in preseason anyway. So, the guys did what they needed to do. Would it be fanciful to think that some of the players that were rested probably would have played had they needed to? I think so. So I think they'll all be fine. And short preseason doesn't bother me.
I think the only real question mark would probably be Zorko, who might have a bit of a hamstring. I think he sort of did something that day of that game against the Suns, so he's a maybe, but I reckon he's good to go. Rayner's good to go. Andrews and Fort were just rested; they'll be fine. So I think largely, other than Draper, I think everyone will be good to go. Obviously, Jack Payne, we'll get to that. And Noah Answorth, I can't imagine will be playing the first couple of weeks because he played VFL. So he's ahead of schedule as far as I'm concerned with that Achilles. So he's playing footy and training with the group and everything, but he played VFL. So he's probably going to need a little bit of a mini preseason, if you will, playing twos for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so before he's considered for senior selection. Because I mean, depending how we go in those first couple of weeks, having that sort of lockdown small defender, I think, is pretty important with Starcevic out of the team now.
I think it's pretty important for all of the teams. It was interesting to see Bodie Hewland sort of struggle a little bit against some of our smalls. To me, I think that he's the most like Starcevic other than Starcevic, and he got caught out, in the air and on the ground, and just so. Maybe he needs to watch more Starcevic videos and model his game a little bit better. And
Mac Andrew just continuing his good ill-disciplined work.
$1 Million Mac. He'll be fine. But at the same time, when you're getting towelled and almost toyed with the way that Logan Morris was in a footballing sense, it's a lot when you hear that he's in his, fifth or sixth season and Logan Morris is in his third. So...
Oh, Mac Andrew would have been there for at least 6 years, I would have thought.
Yeah, I think they said sixth season. Dwayne, also, I know Dwayne wasn't super annoying on commentary, so good for him. But Jack Riewoldt certainly was, and said some absolutely insanely incorrect things on commentary, which I was just completely baffled by. So, including, Eric Hipwood might not make the team. They tried him down back last year. It's like, no, they didn't. He played one game down back, and it was 2 years ago, and it was very specifically against Gold Coast, and that's the only time it's ever happened. Stop talking.
No, he did. He had to drift back against the Giants last year after Jack Payne went down with that knee blowout. Briefly, for a half a footy, yeah.
Fuck you, man.
And you know what? I would have completely forgotten about that until I watched the GWS No Holds Barred documentary. So, and I was like, oh, that's right. Eric Hipwood's down there, and GWS can't miss a goal, and we can't buy one.
Yeah, see, I saw that and was like, I think 6 to 8 episodes of just GWS is too much for me.
I didn't mind it. I mean, I watched the whole thing easily.
If it was 4, I would have probably been like, yeah, cool. But was it 6 or was it 8?
It was 8. Yeah,
8 with ads. I can't do that. You know?
Yeah, the ads is obviously a pain in the dick, but let's continue documentary chat.
Before we move on, the immortal spray by
Kingers, yeah.
Kingsley was like, there's so many layers to that because it was also the one where I think Toby Green called Papley fat as well at halftime.
Yeah.
So that's like, as you know, what the Gen Zers would say, pure cinema. To borrow a term.
I didn't mind that, the No Holds Barred. I watched the whole thing. It was, honestly, I'm not going to say I preferred it to the Amazon documentary, but I found myself engaged more. I was pretty underwhelmed with Final Siren, the Amazon Inside the AFL documentary. 4 episodes, and I think maybe it's on me for building it up quite a bit, because there was all that chat last year of like, oh yeah, Amazon documentary, like the film crews are following these teams all year, and it's by the Drive to Survive people. And I haven't watched Drive to Survive, but everyone tells me to watch it. I'm not going to do it. And 4 episodes doesn't seem like a lot, and it really just focused in on a very specific part of the season, being the end. You know, episode 1 was it Toby Green and Marcus Bontempelli, and then you never see them again. And then episode 2 was Fife and Gawn, and then you basically never see them again. Episode 3 was Brisbane and, with a little bit of Gold Coast, and then episode 4 was Brisbane. And as a, Lions Nuffy, I have every reason to enjoy this, but it was just strange. I don't know. Like I said, felt myself underwhelmed.
I think there will be a lot of football fans that will absolutely hate that, like, categorically, because you look at it and you go, you got a Fremantle, a GWS, the Lions basically had a double episode, which, you can say they've earned that right being the premiers.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will not enjoy, and obviously you had the Tuke Miller stuff as well, but I mean, I didn't mind the Toby Green and Bont stuff, but it just wasn't very... Yeah, if anyone's watched the Drive to Survive seasons and they've also watched the season, the stories they make up in the documentary don't quite correlate. They take certain creative liberties with it, which I always find annoying, because I'm like, you know me, I'm like, that didn't happen. And although you proved me wrong 5 minutes ago, most of the time I'm right.
Well, I mean, again, with this one, the strange editing choices as well. And it's like, I get that it doesn't make for good TV or whatever. Like the David Swallow goal that got them the win, which we all know wasn't a goal, it was turned over in a point, and they just left that out. And then, like, if you didn't know and you watched that, you'd be like, oh, this guy kicked a goal. And then Cam Rayner's goal in the grand final, they made it look completely different to what it actually was.
Well, they also made it look like he tackled Bailey Smith out of his headband right after half-time, which is just not what happened, you know?
Yeah.
That happened late in the fourth quarter when the game was already gone. So,
yeah, just weird stuff like that just threw me a bit, and I guess because, you know, being a footy fan, I know what happened, and I'm like, fine, whatever, I get it, you're trying to make compelling TV, but if you weren't into AFL, or you know, if you were overseas and you watched this thinking, oh, I might learn something about AFL, I don't think you're going to learn anything about footy, the sport. You're going to learn a little bit of surface stuff about 6 or 7 blokes.
I think, though, that is a decent avenue in for some people, because, you know, a lot of the time people will gravitate towards personalities, particularly these days when personalities are much more accessible. I mean, I didn't need all of the Twitter stuff going up of like, this is what so-and-so's saying, or this is it, like, because it's just like, if I was an athlete, I mean, I don't have social media anyway, but if I was an athlete, I certainly wouldn't have social media. I can't think of anything worse. Like, what? Yeah. Why? But it just seemed like that was such a pulling point of like, you know, we hate Toby Green and we hate Zorko and we hate Cam Rayner, and like, cool. What's, you know, whatever. But...
And I don't think anyone would have, after watching that, I don't think anyone would have walked away going, oh, actually, there's a little bit more to Dane Zorko than I first thought. I think if you didn't like him, you're not going to like him after that either. Same for Cam Rayner. Maybe Toby Green got a little bit, but maybe I'm sort of conflating that with the no-holds-barred stuff as well. So I don't think it did anything to fix any reputations. The one thing I said to you that I sort of enjoyed...
Think about it this way. Okay, so, sorry to cut you off, but think about it. Toby Green, he's already had his, like, redemption thing, but he's still a bit of a grub. Bit like Jonathan Brown, where Jonathan Brown, everyone thought he's like, no, I'm just reckless in the contest. Clean that up, I'll get suspended one more time. Whatever. So Toby Green, he's fine. If you like him, you like him. If you don't, you don't. Who cares? Bontempelli, I don't think anyone's going to like Bontempelli more or less because he's Bontempelli. Yeah. So he's like one of the most beloved figures in the game. Max Gawn, similar to Toby Green, you either like him or you don't. I don't like him. I think he's insincere and I think he's borderline deluded based on some of the stuff that I saw there. Fife, think he's boring, still think he was boring. Zorko and Rayner, still think they're kind of a bit knobbish, and they kind of are. So, yeah. Touk Miller, mad dog, has like a really cool dad. Cool.
Well, it did solidify what and this is probably sacrilege to say as a Lions fan, it's just I've got nothing but respect for and, you know, admiration for Touk Miller. And that solidified that for me. The one thing about Fife, yeah, pretty boring sort of a fella, but I didn't realise just what he had to go through every week to play footy, which was ridiculous.
His ankle was grotesque.
Yeah, well, I guess I didn't, and that probably comes to the fact that Freo are always playing at 4:40 on a Sunday afternoon, and I'm just like getting on with my life instead. But just what his body has gone through over the years, you forget about it, I guess.
He doesn't, because, and I was explaining this watching it, is it's like, because he doesn't really fit in with Freo. He didn't really fit in with them. He looks like a fish out of water, or that sort of a thing. But he was like the Bontempelli of Fremantle, and for people who haven't watched him back in those days, he was the guy. And like he played with such, like, he was brutal, but he was also really graceful, and he like hobbles around like he's, because he's been so absolutely brutalized. But how was Longmuir's spray? Incoherent nonsense. Didn't make
I didn't think he had that in him.
Word. No. It was the kind of one I would have trouble like keeping a straight face for, because it was whiny, whereas the Kingsley one, oh man, the Kingsley one. 23. Yes, yeah. How many high-speed meters has he got?
For the game.
For the game. Start fucking running!
I don't know if you've watched any of the No Holds Barred documentary, but I think he's like a senior assistant or GM of footy or something like that. Craig Jennings. I don't know if you've watched any, but he seems like a different cat. Lives out of a van. Does have a home in Melbourne, but when he goes there, lives in the shed because it's as close to the van that he can get. He walks into the coach's office one day. He goes, "Oh, I've got this new pair of trackies from the op shop. Haven't washed them yet. Haven't got washing machine in the van. It's just, he seems like but he's obviously earning shitloads of money in the position that he's in, whatever he's doing, and very astute football mind. Just crazy.
Yeah, but just to reiterate, I've watched about 3 minutes of that documentary multiple times.
Yeah.
So.
There is obviously the Fox Footy doco coming on Tuesday or Wednesday, Run Towards the Fire, and then AFL.com.au's got one as well, 22 Days, which is going to sort of cover the period between the qualifying final and the grand finals, which is, that looks good. We remember last year, the 2 documentaries that came out, Pound the Rock was miles ahead in terms of, for me anyway, better than the Fox documentary. I feel like the Fox doco is going to have a little bit of a different flavour to it this year, not just the guys sitting in a theatre watching it back. I think it might actually be a bit more documentary style. And then I'm guessing anyone who's listening to us also listens to The Raw Deal will know that Mike Whiting and Josh Gavlich have got a podcast series coming out on AFL.com.au as well, which will be really cool. Really cool.
Good for them.
So there you go, bit of doco chat. All right, let's have a little bit of a chat about opening round. Okay, keep going, round 1, opening round, and our best 23. Well, our opening round 23 available for this game. You said you had a hard time doing this one.
Sort of, yeah. Like, there's like 18 or 19 that you're like, yeah, those guys. They're good to go. There's a couple of, questions relating is, do they go with 2 genuine rucks? Or do they go with a forward ruck, share the load type situation? I think that you could see a lot of different teams doing it, obviously based on what they've got. But, can you really see Fremantle playing like the Minotaur, Darcy, and the American all at once? Like, are they going to do that? And then Tracy and Amos and Patrick Voss, like, that's extremely tall.
Yeah.
I can't see it happening. So,
right,
I mean...
let's start with our back 6. For me, Zorko, Andrews, Lester, Fletcher, Gardner, Wilmot, and then I've also got Coleman on the bench as a 7th.
Yeah, see, I've got the same 6 with Fletcher on a wing. So...
Okay.
I guess that's fine. But the thing is, I think that, any other situation, I think Answorth would be in the team. But for round 1, same back 6 functionally.
So center line for me, I've got Levi on one wing, Berry on the other, and Neil in the middle. And then my followers are Ford in the ruck, Dunkley, and McCluggage.
Yep, all ticks. But I think I have Levi on the bench because of Fletcher. So we're still in song.
All right. Forward 6, Bailey, Oscar Allen, Cam Rayner, Charlie Cameron, Logan Morris, and Kai Lohman.
Yep, same front 6.
Okay, and then my bench is I've got Will, Kitty, as I mentioned. I have got one of Cody Curtin or ZZ on the bench, one of those. Probably leaning more towards Cody Curtin, Bruce, and Ty Gallup.
I've got a name I can't... Oh, no, it's revealed, but it looks like it says Ramble. So, not a directive to me, but yeah, so I have Will and Levi, Gallup, McCarthy, and Ramble. Reveal.
Okay, so I've gone for a second ruck, if you will, and you've gone for Link. So, my emergencies, if you will, would be Link, Marshall, and probably Connor McKenna. I thought he was good across the 2 pracky matches.
He was good. He was one that was sort of a low key. He does plug a lot of gaps, but he hasn't played a lot of football. But he's good to have.
I think Will McLaughlin will and should play AFL this year. I don't know how many games. Probably less than 10, but I think he'll play footy. Noah Answorth is obviously right on the cusp of selection, as is Sam Draper, and once he's back in the team, then that second ruck role I was talking about is going to basically disappear. It's just whether you think we are going to go with 2 designated rucks, and I think, and this is just vibes, I think we probably will. With the 5 on the bench, I think Draper will be number 1, and I think they will roll Darcy Fort on the bench. or the option is Gallup or Oscar Allen playing backup ruck. But with these new ruck rules and the history of Oscar Allen's knees, I think Gallup is probably more likely.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I just think at some point in the season, a team are going to play one ruckman and they're going to have an extra runner, and something will happen, and everyone will go, "Oh, whoa, okay, that's what needs to happen here." But I think we can cover it between the two up top. But I don't know. Are the boundary throw-in runs as changed? There aren't quite as many of those, and
no, they'll only be in the arcs, and then if there's a disputed ball, on any of the wings. So, I think Fags will start with 2, and then feel it out over the first 5 or 6 weeks and make the call from there. But my gut feel is he'll probably roll with 2 to begin with.
And do you think that one will be Curtin or Sakostelski rather than Gallup?
Yeah, for opening round, I think Cody Curtin's put his hand up, but ZZ was real good on Thursday.
I guess we'll wait and see.
I guess we will.
Because, there are other options going through. Because I don't know whether Draper and Fort will play together once they're both fit. Maybe they will,
I think they will, to begin with. Yeah, I think they will. So the only difference we've got is you've got Link in rather than that second ruckman at this point. And then a bit of a positional switch.
Yeah, and the positional switch is not entirely relevant. So, have you got Reville in?
Yeah, he's on my bench.
Yeah, sick, nice. Yeah, love. I thought he was really good in the pre. I thought he looked much more assured, and he looked more like a senior player. He was willing to take things on. He was making really good decisions. I want to actually make mention of Darcy Wilmot. We love him, obviously. We love him a lot. And I think he might be one of the best decision makers in the game. He never makes a bad decision, whether it's hands, whether it's going long, whether it's going short, whether it's taking the ball on. He very rarely, if ever, makes a bad decision. So good for him. Good for him.
I think the big question is Zorko, Wilmot, and Coleman. Is that too much of the same in the one team? And I think it's hard to say, but once Noz is available, he will come into that team. Who does he push out? Is it one of those? Probably not. As you said, one of them might move up to the wing a little bit, but Zorko, Wilmot, Coleman, all very similar type players, just sort of those decision makers, the attacking with limited defensive accountability.
Yeah, put it this way. In 2023, we made a grand final playing with McKenna, Coleman, and Wilmot, so it's not unprecedented, although you would like there to be a bit less to that. I still think that, if you were looking at it and going, well, you'd back Wilmot to win 50-50s more often than not. And Coleman's got some good defensive nous. I think he probably needs a run of games, and Zorko's kind of... Zorko's
you know what you've got with Zorko now.
Zorko's just so... I can't speak on Zorko because I'm just consistently wrong all of the time.
You're not going to try and retire him again, eh?
No, I've never tried to retire him. I just think had Coleman not done his knee and Zorko had been moved back, he would have retired without a premiership. But here he is, and good for him. Really good for him, and really good for us. So, shut up. You've had it up. You've 2 episodes in, and you're already right at my grill line this season. So,
well, the Dogs, they looked, as I said, they looked good across their pracky matches as well. They did a bit of a number on the Hawks. Sam Darcy is a maybe to be playing this game. It looks like Bailey Dale won't be there, and there was another someone else that was likely missing as well that was reasonably important to them, without it being, like Bontempelli or Treloar is obviously done as well. So Sam Darcy is a maybe, and if he does play, might be a little bit undercooked, but I think we can all look forward to seeing that matchup against Harris if it does come to pass.
Yeah, the Dogs are a bit of a known but unknown quantity. It's kind of... They're a strange team. Like, they've got some guys I have no idea who they are. Like... But that's... who's Lockie Jacques? Is he from France? Don't know. Like, almost certainly not. But then you've got, like, the Lobster down there and, like, Connor Butterick's there, and he's not too bad. And your mate, Riley Sanders. Is it Riley Sanders, your mate? No, you like Riley West.
I do like Riley West. He's a very handy small forward. Riley Sanders also went off injured. I'm not sure of the severity of that one, so he could be a maybe as well. Obviously, Fraser is continuing his good work. Artie Jones looked good for the Dogs, so I reckon he'll... I mean, if you're going off that performance on Friday or Saturday, whenever it was, he's probably picked himself for an opening round spot.
Yeah. I mean, strangely enough, there's not a lot about the Dogs that really scare me, which might be to my own chagrin. I think it's just like,
you know that when they do turn it on and when they get everything right, then they do blow teams out. And they just score so heavily. Going back to topic of the day, the No Holds Barred documentary. I completely forgot when the Giants were on the roll leading into finals that the Dogs just absolutely thumped them by like 90 points in the last 3 rounds or something.
Yeah, I when that popped up in the Toby Green Bontempelli one, I was like, I remember exactly what I was doing that night because I was annoyed that I saw the score and then realised that I just gained 2 hours of my life in not watching that game. So, easy come, easy go. But yeah, they can do it. It's just like the opponent has to be pretty bloody feckless to let them do it. And I just don't see that in us, Like, the Giants are liable to absolutely roll over. I don't know that we are. I mean, we have historically, but then at the same time we always tend to show up when we need to, so we'll wait and see. But I'm excited for it. Like, I'm amazed that it's like the first game is in a week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What are we, the 1st of March? Jeez, it's
on Saturday. 6 days away at this stage, and by the time everyone hears this, it'll be even less time.
Ridiculous. It's coming thick and fast, and they're adding in more games, and the poor players, man, the poor players. But yes, Tim English, you said that he had a quite a good game.
Yeah, really good. Not only did he basically dominate Lloyd Meek in the ruck, but worked him all over the ground and covered a lot of ground as well.
Cool.
This is not Tim English's number 1 ticket holder.
Yeah, I think if you can't say anything positive, don't say anything at all. I don't know whether I'll stick to that for very long, but I'll stick to it for now. I just think he's massively overrated, and it could have been a Styles thing in Lloyd Meek. Also, you can look at it and go, like, Hawthorn aren't playing opening round, are they?
I don't know.
I don't believe so, but it could be the element of they're 1 week behind in their preparation, so you can always get that kind of stuff happening and those sorts of things. They are playing opening round, so I will stand corrected. They're playing the Giants.
Right, they're playing the Giants. Yeah.
Well, they are cooked. Hawthorn cooked. So no, they'll be all right.
Not with the Giants injury list. That they're cooked.
Yes. Well, They downgraded their red-haired midfielder significantly. Tom Green out, Clayton Oliver in. He's got work to do immediately. So, look, we will wait and see. But, yeah, we should win. We should win well. Put the Doggies in their place and make your mate Hoyne rethink his champion data points.
Great.
Top 3 in the comp.
Yep. All right. Now, also off air, you did mention you wanted to try and pick a top 8, top 10, some sort of loose ladder predictor.
No, well, okay, you've stitched me up here because last year you said to me in our season preview, the top 8 will be hard to pick. And I said, no, it'll be easy. And then you got me to rattle stuff off. Last fortnight, so our last episode, something similar happened, and I'm like, well, let me have a think about it. But I've got them in groupings. Do you
Yep.
want to do your unrehearsed mess first, like I did, to make yourself look like an idiot? Or
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. So, do you want to do it literally 1 to 18, or are you just going to do it in groups like I did?
Nah, I might do groups.
Okay, good.
So
Top
in
four-
no particular order, top 4 all interstate clubs: Brisbane, Adelaide, Gold Coast, and Sydney. So what does that leave? 5 to 8. Freo, Hawthorn, Dogs, and Geelong. Wild card, Giants, St Kilda, and then bottom 6: Melbourne, North Melbourne, Port Adelaide, Richmond, West Coast, Essendon.
Bottom 8? You said bottom 6.
Oh,
Is it-
so
and
who am I
the
missing?
two
Who-
other teams, I don't know. I said before when I was doing this, I forgot that Melbourne Demons existed, and it was like a really nice.
and I've missed out on Collingwood and Carlton. Ooh,
no chance.
Giants. Yeah, I reckon they'll be. Carlton and Collingwood will be somewhere between 8 and 12.
I reckon they'll be pushing for wild card, and they'll fall short, and it'll be really funny because then they won't get the crowds that they want at those two done games. So my top 4 teams. I mean, you could probably throw a blanket over another couple, but I went Lions, Suns, Geelong, Fremantle.
Sure.
You know, all interstate teams. And then top 8, I went Hawks, Adelaide, Sydney, Bulldogs. We wound up with the same wildcard teams, St Kitts and the Giants. And then, Carlton, Collingwood, Tigers, Dons, West Coast, Port Adelaide, North, and then I forgot the Demons. So, but the Demons
I think
are awful.
the bottom 6 are reasonably easy enough to pick.
I reckon it could be one hell of a bottom 6 off this season. Like, some of those garbage games might actually be decent watch. But we'll wait and see. I don't know. I don't know about Carlton and Collingwood. I don't know. We won AFLX one year and it didn't go so well. So
That's right. All right. Well, let's do some tipping. Thanks to EB by Hiker. They are sponsoring our tipping competition this year, and they are going to be offering up a prize at the end of it for our winner. If you do want to join our tipping competition, the links are available at our website, brisbanelionsfancast.com.au. I'll post them again at our socials as well. But yes, plenty of people already involved, which is bloody fantastic. Let's have a look here.
Actually, I signed up today because I knew that this would happen, and I didn't want to have to be
Look at all these people. Look at all these people.
I haven't signed up yet.
So we've got plenty of people involved so far. All right, first game, Sydney Carlton and a margin.
So I've gone Sydney by 30. I feel like these first games of the season tend not to blow out too much. So,
Yep.
5 goals.
Yeah, I've gone similar. I've gone Sydney by 25. Suns and Cats is going to be... That's going to be a fun game, I reckon. I have gone the Suns, but I'm not particularly sold on it.
Why? You love the Suns. If we were Geelong, like if it was the Suns versus the Lions, you would have absolutely no hesitation in picking Gold Coast at people's first.
Well, it won't surprise you to hear I'm thinking about tipping the Dogs.
Really? What is wrong with you?
Plenty. All right, so I've gone the Suns, but the Cats, is Jeremy Cameron going to play? Probably not. Bailey Smith, Giants and Hawks is the next one. Hawthorn for me with that Giants injury. I did have the Giants initially, but that injury list just keeps getting bigger and bigger, so Hawks.
Correct.
I have tipped Brisbane, but like I said, I'm considering not doing it, and I've tipped Collingwood to beat St Kilda, but I think that'll be a good game as well.
Yeah, I've tipped St Kilda.
Tipped Saints. Fair enough. I mean, they obviously did a lot of movement in the off-season, if you haven't heard. And if you haven't heard, Chris Fagan will tell you. Let's see how all those new players fit into the system.
See, this is how things like that happen. You say something like that, someone picks up the ball and runs and thinks, hey, these two are reputable, and then they quote you on him, and then someone goes
if anyone thinks we're reputable, that's on them.
I know. I've said that before, but people somehow hold us to, tabloid law or something. We'll get sued at some point in time. I mean, I'll get sued, and you'll have to pick up the pieces, so... So we've got one difference, you and I. Worth noting, I've started from the beginning to tip properly. Not last season where I tipped North Melbourne for about 4 games in a row being like, I think they're due. And it went horribly. I made some terrible decisions.
Well, they are due.
But I still beat you. So
hey, they beat Collingwood today.
I don't care. Collingwood are shit too. So that's why I tipped St Kilda. By a point. 1 point?
Yes. 1 point. Win's a win, mate.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Good for them. Like, they've got to go. Like, North Melbourne. They got to do something.
Yeah. If they don't, Clarko's going to get sacked.
Understandable.
All right. Thanks to Crisp Marketing. Let's... we've got a couple of questions here. The first one that I did sort of forewarn you about was comes from Alex. This was from Instagram.
Hold on, you're burying the lead here a little bit because you solicited for questions for the shoe, not questions for the show. So you copped a lot. You copped a lot of shit for this, man.
Yeah, it's good. People were getting involved there.
What is your shoe size?
I'm a 9.
Which US, UK? European
I don't
9? Have you got
know.
a jelly bean foot?
I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to make that aware that I'm not the only one that makes mistakes.
And then Danielle has jumped in with, do you go left foot or right foot first? And then is it sock, shoe, or sock, shoe? I'm left foot first and I do sock, shoe.
Yeah, if anyone does sock, shoe, they need to really be put on a list. Like, urgently. Because that is... They'll have a Netflix documentary about them.
All right, legitimate question from Alex. With the unfortunate news of Jack Payne, and just quietly, I mean, that was vague enough to make you think we could be without Jack Payne this whole year. Is
what
Hipwood
was the
better
new?
off? He's had another surgery on his knee, and he's out for a undetermined amount of time.
Okay. Cool.
With the unfortunate news of Jack Payne, is Hipwood better off training down back in his return to footy? And as a follow-up question, has Zane Zakastelski matured enough to be a chance? Now, a week ago, Alex, I would have said there's absolutely no chance Zane Zakastelski is going to get some footy time. But after Thursday, maybe, because he's played majority as a key defender in the twos, with a bit of backup ruck. I think he was more ruck with a little bit of versatility on Thursday. And he was, as I said, great. If he gets a game, I think it will be as that second ruck, potentially even this week. But I don't know that if we're reaching for him, for Zane Zakastelski as a key defender, things have gone horribly wrong again. I think Darragh Joyce is probably ahead of him just because of his AFL level experience.
I would agree. I think Darragh Joyce tends to play the Harris Andrews role of the kind of defensive captain, which is what he slotted in to do in the practice game. So if you were going to blueprint the first team onto the reserves, so Zakastelski is probably learning his craft, but it's not to say that won't change maybe this year. But I think purely, with respect to the reserves, I don't think that if Harris Andrews is going out that you would want to bring in someone that young to really... it would be difficult. It would be difficult for them. Yeah. As regarding Hipwood trying down back, I don't know. I don't think so. I think that he offers a lot in the forward line.
Okay, we'll put it this way. If we get to round 10 to 15, whenever it is he's available for selection, and Gallup, Morris, and Oscar Allen, and Sam Draper are all playing well and not injured, you can't really put him into that forward line.
No, you can't. But if we get to that and Gardner, Lester, and Harris Andrews are all playing down back, then you just got to wait. So it's a wait and see. So I don't see it happening, but maybe it will. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's unlikely that those three mentioned, Morris, Gallup, and Oscar Allen, will all... I mean, they're all very capable footballers, clearly. We spoke on the show that I wouldn't be surprised if Oscar Allen does have time off, just with his injury history. Not to say I don't want him to, but he might miss games.
We got to back him in, though.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
That was feedback. We've got to back him in. So
I would love nothing more. Hey, I would love nothing more than Oscar Allen to play every game and kick 70 goals.
I called him a top 5 key forward, and we got told we didn't back him enough. It's like, come on, man, listen to the words.
I was setting realistic expectations, I suppose, or maybe pessimistic expectations. Yeah, look, Hippie down back. It's not ridiculous. I mean, yes, it's ridiculous, but it's not as ridiculous as once upon a time. At the end of the day, he's contracted until 2029. So I'm not going to say we're stuck with him. That's because we love Hippie here. But he's going to find it hard to crack into that forward line if those players mentioned are doing their job.
Yeah. One thing just going back to Final Siren, there was something that irritated me a little bit with that, obviously. Cam Rayner both at the same time hadn't performed in big games, but also performed in big games.
Yep.
Cool. And one of the things that watching that I felt was, I think the narrative of players need to stand up in big games all the time is not right. It's not, I'll put it this way. Do you reckon if Cam Rayner didn't play particularly well in either grand final, which he didn't, we would still have won them? Well, we did. And do you think he's okay with that? Because I think he is.
I think he is. But, I mean, yeah, I guess...
But I'll ask you this one. Do you think if Nick Dacos doesn't think he has a great game, Collingwood will still win?
He wasn't. Because
I think that he would believe in order for Collingwood to win, he has to play well. And I think one of the things I love about our team is that I don't think anyone actually has that opinion of themselves, where they don't think, I have to make sure that I play well in order to win the game for our team. I think the team look at it and go, as a collective... I mean, to me, I thought that's one of the things I got out of the Cam Rayner Zorko thing. So... I've completely forgot about that. It's come up now. Whatever. Also, drive by on Nick Dacos. How good. Yeah. All of the things that I do all
Episode
in one.
Episode 2, we got there, folks.
Yep.
Should start a season tally for those. All right, Benny on the Discord. What were your thoughts on the preseason rough conduct penalties after the game against the Suns? People have suggested there should be additional penalties, upgraded severity to the standard match review during preseason. I haven't heard that.
I don't know that it's anyone with any reputation that's suggesting that. I think it's just people. I can't say what the penalty was floated as being because the language is too much so that I don't want my mum to hear it, but dumb something penalty. Jed Walter said the game's gone. You're an idiot.
Silly.
He's an idiot. Now, we have different opinions on the Farah one.
Yeah, I thought it was a hard bump. Like, he got him good. He got him in the chest. Did it glance up a little? Maybe.
I look at that and go, I can't see any difference between the Zach Bailey one that he got suspended and that one. Yeah. Because Zach Bailey hit heads, and if you elect to bump and they hit their head on any part of your body... It's on you. Like, that 100% should have been a week, but it wasn't. So,
according to what happened to Zach Bailey, yes, it should be a week. But I I mean, I didn't want Zach Bailey to get a week for that, and I'm pretty okay with Farah not getting a week. Jed Walter, on the other hand, silly. Like, just
it's so
silly.
dumb. So dumb. He should get... I mean, and then for him to say, the game's gone. It's like, why were you bumping there? Like, what were you actually doing? What were you trying to do in a footballing sense other than trying to rough up a first-game player?
Yeah. Like...
You did it last year, not him specifically, but they did it last year and it didn't turn out too well for them in the long run. So, yes, stupid. These things are dumb. And yeah, I think they should probably come with an extra week just for stupidity.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's preseason. They should, like... I understand everyone's, once you're in the field, competitive juices and you do want to win, but I think you have to have in your mind this is a preseason game and you're only doing your team a disservice there. And with that forward line that the Suns have got, with King and Ugelhagen and Jed Walter, and I think they've got, another key forward there as well that I'm probably forgetting.
They've
Ethan
got the
Reed
forward ruck, yeah.
Yeah. So, and he was on the outer towards the back end of last year and couldn't get a game. So it's like you want to do everything you can to make sure you get a spot in that forward line. And now you've basically gifted your spot in opening round to probably Ugelhagen.
Jamara, yeah.
And, if he lights it up and kicks 3 or 4, you're not going to take it back. So, whatever. That's their problem to deal with, I suppose. As you said, luckily we didn't come away with too many injuries. It's a bit of a shame Oscar Allen didn't get that second hit out just for connectivity with our game plan and everything. Like, am I sad that he missed a game and avoided injury? Yeah, maybe, but I think the fact that he just having more time with the team and finding out how we operate can only be good as well.
I think there's enough smart structural pieces around for it to matter less, so I think it'll be all right. But I understand what you're saying, for sure.
Yeah. That was it for questions. Thanks to Crisp Marketing. There was a few shoe-based things there as well, but I think we answered the important one there as well. What size shoe are you? Just quietly.
46.
Oh, okay.
I think if I'm going the European, I don't know.
That's big.
No, 8.5 UK, I think. So 9.5.
Okay, well, you wouldn't be a 46 then.
European?
No,
they got all kinds of mad nonsense. This is riveting. 43. Sorry, 43.
Yeah, I was going to say, 46 is probably closer to.
How's about you being like, like European size? I don't know them, and then you're just like, that's big. You're holding out on me.
All right, well, now that we've degenerated, I think that's time to wrap things up. We are back. Footy is back. How good?
We're also back weekly now, not like me being like, I didn't watch the game, so we can't record this week like I did last week. I think I might have also lied and said, didn't we did both preseason games in one fell swoop. And I said that based on no reality. So
yeah, look, I didn't pick you up on it.
Good.
We will be back every week, and it's all thanks to Hop On Brew Tours, Crisp Marketing, local card shop, and EB by Hiker. Make sure you stay tuned to find out all the wheelings and dealings we've got going on with those guys across the year, and check out the website, brisbanelionsfancast.com.au as well.
And just before we shoot, how's footy training going?
Missed out last week. Oval was closed for seniors intra-club. So I'll be back on Wednesday, and make sure if you want to watch some local footy across the year, I will be giving you Rooster Chat every week as well, as things progress. Yeah.
Can we get a little teaser for what this not wheel is going to be? Like, just really, just because you can do two things. You can get the audience excited, and you can put the fear in me.
Okay, so all right, well, I'll give you the framework here. Is I'm going to go back through the history of the Brisbane Lions and pick out some sort of memorable-ish games. I'm going to find out how many players you can name that played on that day. So,
that's great. I love that sort of stuff. But if you do anything in between 2010 and 2015, I am absolutely cooked. But I think we only have 2 memorable games from that period of time.
Well, one of them will obviously be making an appearance.
And surely Pandemonium at the Gabba's got to make an appearance.
Yeah, that's a good one. So that'll be something to look forward to. Local card shop are going to make that possible as well. So
Can't wait
that's going to take a little bit of work.
Can't wait to give Elliot Yeo a mention.
I might also do a bit of an over-under with you as well, of like who played more games, Tom Berry or Jordan Lyle. That sort of stuff.
Tom Berry, eh? Yeah. What's he doing? Is he playing in your team?
No, he's signed. He's playing local footy, but not with the Roosters.
He's up in Queensland.
Yes.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I occasionally I'll get people when I'm working in Ballarat. Occasionally I'll get people from Horsham floating through, and by all accounts, there is not a lot going on there. So
might as well play footy.
And if there's people in Horsham saying there's not a lot going on, and they're saying that in Ballarat, then it's like degrees of not going on. So that's all I'll say about that. I think we're done.
Until next week, go Lions. We'll have our first set of votes to cast, a first game to pick apart, and we'll wait to see if Cody Curtin or Zane Zakostelski makes the team.
Sounds good. We're doing just normal 3-2-1 votes, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yes, we will.
Okay. And we're only voting for Lions players.
Yes.
Okay. Good.